Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Republic of Players podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Toner, call me. Tonight we'll be talking about Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy 16. Everyone's trying to be a rock star, and I'm joined by who's that fellow up there? By Aidan, that's you. What's crack?
That is me. Not a
That's
lot.
it.
Brian, Aidan, and John are here tonight.
I have been having a good week playing a shitload of Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice. I think I seen John was playing it too.
A little
You
bit.
got it, John?
I only started it. I only played like an hour of it.
I was sitting here on the computer and I was like, that bastard.
I was between two minds because, like, you know yourself, the wipe is imminent. So the Tarkov, so it was
anything could derail the game at any moment.
Yeah, he wasn't even sure if he should buy it or not. He's like, I'm never going to play this.
Oh, legitimately, like that's the truth.
It's such a cool game. I love it so much.
Yeah. Seems to be getting a lot of praise.
Yeah, it has that thing that like not a lot of games get, where everyone you meet has a different story about a cool thing that happened.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I kind of like the way it's basically the anti-Final Fantasy 16. It's like they're diametrically opposed. Like, as far apart as you can get in the spectrum of role-playing games. Like. And that's cool because they're both out now.
We probably should jump into the first piece of news then with the rolling over to it, that it's there's a Twitch and that have joined up there's loads of new features on Twitch to let you join in on the game. Basically, have you watched this gone on Twitch while the people are playing?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of a guy called Azzacross playing.
The Destiny guy.
Yeah. He's playing Baldur's Gate. The Twitch stuff is really cool. You can check the guy who's playing character stats while they're playing, and like go through all of their characters, and it's such a cool idea because like it's that sort of game when you join in on a stream, you're like, oh, I wonder what level he is and what characters he's playing, and like it's really cool to be able to check all that out without having to.
That's really cool.
Do these have all? Is it single player? Is it multiplayer? Like is there servers? Both. What is it? Both.
Yeah, you can start a single player game. That's fine, but there's also you can play the whole game as up to 4 people in a party.
Yeah,
right.
And you can also play custom games with somebody plays the GM.
Yeah, we were talking about that. That's for any D&D fan. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I only played like an hour of it, and so far so good. It's a lot more. Well, not a lot more than I expected, but it's very cinematic, especially at the start. Dragons flying around the place, a lot of mind flayers doing mad stuff, putting bugs in my eyes. Craziness. I turned a woman into a mind flayer by accident because there was a console that was like, I don't know what it does, but let's press the button. I was like, press it. Of course I'm going to press it.
Did you crush the brain?
No, do you know why? Do you know why I didn't even try? Because he ran past me and he complimented me. I swear to God, he ran past me and he said, like, you're beautiful or something like that. Like, oh, thank you. I don't know what or who you are, but
I needed that today.
Oh, John. You can't trust an intellect devourer.
Listen, not often I get a compliment like that. So do you know what? Little Brain Man was fine with me. Sure, he probably like the whole. Again, this is spoilers for the first 20 minutes. The whole ship went kaput. So I don't know how good he is doing.
This is what I mean by the game is like everybody deals with like the situations differently, and there's like so many different varieties. Like for instance, there's a bit like really early in the game where you're like in like a druid place, and there's a little kid, and I accidentally talked to the kid as my rogue character. And because this little urchin had her friends trying to steal from you, and because you were a rogue, you caught them stealing, and then you got to meet all their thief friends. And that wouldn't have happened unless you talked to them as a rogue. Like things like that's really cool.
That's cool.
That's good. That's so much in depth.
Incredible depth.
That's bad. I'm what am I? I'm the devil guy. I'm one of the devil people. And I'm what am I? I'm a monk because I just thought it'd be funny to go around and kung fu people. And I look like Santa Claus. I'm called Old Saint Nick. So let's see how that goes.
I kind of think monks differently here. No, praying. No, one of them kind of monks.
No, it's flips and punching.
Yeah. Oh, right. This game seems to be in the running for one of the best games of the year. It looks like a lot of people are massively in love with it.
I think it's one of the most impressive RPGs I've played in probably a decade.
Now, is this a hook you
but it's one
on
of those-
like a World of Warcraft kind of game, or like you could be still playing this in 4 years' time?
I don't know how this is going to work. I have a feeling this is a game that like there's probably going to be a lot of people making content for, like writing campaigns through like the GM mode stuff. I'm probably going to play it multiple times because like I'm definitely going to play it now as like I'm playing it as a goody goody. I'm going to play the whole game as a completely evil tyrant at some point. And like from what Larian's saying, the game goes completely differently depending on how you're playing it. So it seems like there's loads of replay value.
Like you don't mind paying top end for that kind of game at all?
No.
Loads
Is
of
it one of those-
hours. Go on.
It's one of those games that is almost a problem because like other games now have to kind of live up to it. Like they had 6 years and basically infinite money to make this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
There's a lot of floating around the kind of the Twitter ether. There's a lot of like commentary like this is AAA gaming done correctly.
Yeah.
So you all have to do this now, or we just play Baldur's Gate 3. This is the kind of the attitude. And I've only played it an hour, and it was there like, okay, like there's mechanics I haven't seen in games in a decade in here, and like there's a clear morality. I don't mean clear morality, but like the game instantly is there like listen, you can be an absolute arsehole, or you can let this pretty lady out of her little cabin thing, and you'll be buddy. Like it's really like, oh, okay. And it doesn't tell you there's a morality system. It just shows you that your actions have results like straight away. Like so
There's never the words good or evil in a dialogue option.
No, you just have to make your mind up.
Yeah. And it's one of those things as well. It gives you like special dialogue options depending on what race you are and what class you are and what your background is. But like a lot of games, when you see the little square bracket that gives you a specific dialogue option because of your class and stuff, this is the good option. It's not the good option all the time. It's sometimes you have this special option that only you can say, but it ruins a conversation.
I'm playing a barbarian, and like my special option is usually rip door off, or any problem that's in front of you. You have like a physical dice roll to try and solve it by punching it or pulling it or destroying it. Like it's brilliant.
That dice roll animation is lovely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very addictive. I have a friend who's playing it at the moment, and he said I'm 26 hours in, and for me it's a 10 out of 10. It might be one of the best games I've ever played, and he said it's so good that it makes me reconsider other 10 out of 10s I've given. So that's how he feels about it. So I'm an hour in, I can't tell, but even that hour I played was a lot of fun.
I'm
I'll never play it again. Oh, that's not me.
Sorry, I'm sitting at work today, and I'm here thinking, sitting at work thinking, I can't wait to go back and play this conversation differently to see if I can make things happen in different ways.
Yeah.
It kind of hits the nail on the head with the D&D then, doesn't it? Really hits the imagination.
Oh, it's the best video game implementation of D&D that anyone's ever made.
That's a big compliment.
It even has a DM. Like it has like the dice rolls come up and the DM will explain things and stuff.
Yeah, I love that when I started realizing, oh, that voice is a DM. This is brilliant. Like,
and she's a really nice voice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you're so happy, but it's good to see a game getting people so fired up. That's what it seems like. Just for everyone, they don't get to see it, but John's hair looks fantastically blown in the wind this evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's not special effects
very
on my
windy
side.
It's very windy.
It's windy in Tipperary, isn't it?
Is it as humid with all this as it is up here?
It's humid, isn't it? I don't
know.
It's
absolutely awful.
It's not as hot as it was supposed to be, I don't think, in Donegal anyway. It's wet though, as usual.
No, it's so humid here. It's disgusting. I hate it, to be honest with you.
It'll be cold enough soon again.
It's not the heat though. I don't mind heat. Humidity is different. Humidity is just awful. It feels like a big wet towel in your face. I hate it.
Yeah, it does.
He's like walking through soup.
The next piece of news kind of links in with this. With this Baldur's Gate 3, or is it 3? It's turn-based, isn't it?
Yes,
obviously. So that's what they're reckoning a big factor why Square Enix's Final Fantasy 16 is not doing as well. Because some people have jumped off the outship because it's not turn-based. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they're saying. They've, what does it say? As Square Enix latest earnings report, while net sales increased, operating profit dropped by 79%, from 14.4 billion to 3 billion. Now, during a post-earnings call to an analyst, as reported by Bloomberg, Final Fantasy 16 is likely to blame for much of this, citing slow adoption of the PS5 with previously constructed sales of the console due to supply shortages. But like, how would that match up now? Like, the supply shortages are like, that's over, isn't it? Everyone has a PS5 now, don't they?
When I was reading that article,
Yeah,
they basically said that the attachment rate of Final Fantasy 16 to PlayStation 5s is massive. Like something like 70% of people who bought a PlayStation 5 also bought Final Fantasy, which leads me to believe that the amount of sales that they wanted is more than
the console.
more than there are PlayStation 5s in the world, like at the moment.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's
this reads like they're regretting to make it exclusive.
That's what I'm going to say. Like, it's their own kind of, not fault, but like, for making it exclusive, being like, oh, why aren't we selling this many? It's like, well, it's only on one console.
but there's not a shortage of consoles anymore, is there?
No, I think they're just saying that. They what they did, I think, is like okay. So at the start of the year, when they want venture capitalists to buy into their company and buy loads of stock, they say, this is how much we're going to make. We are going to sell 112 million copies of Final Fantasy 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
And venture capitalists, not always the smartest people in the world. People are like, well, they make Final Fantasy, so they will sell 112 million copies. And then later in the year, they go,
fall into that trap, right?
Right. But this seems to be what they do. Like, I could be wrong about that, but it does seem to be what they do. Like,
it is a pattern with Square.
It is a pattern with them, yeah. So I assume it's on purpose, but at this point of the year, they always have to like do their, well, you know, the moon was in the wrong part of the sky, and that's why Tomb Raider only sold 8 million copies and not 56. So you know.
that's my favorite bad like expectation of a game ever. That third Tomb Raider game, 8 million copies for a game nobody cared about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you still playing? Have you finished the game? Are you still playing the game? I know you got it anyway, John. You got it, Aiden. I know that.
I'm in the last area.
Yeah, I'm kind of reaching the end too. Like, yeah.
I will come back to it, but I am one of the people who fell off it a little bit for no real reason. I was having fun. And again, I do know there are Final Fantasy fans who are don't like this one, like legitimately. Again, another buddy of mine, Tommy, legitimately, like, he thought it was cool at the start, but he was just like, I don't like it. It's too action focused. It's there's not enough like you know, like end game stuff or like extra stuff you could do, like going around exploring as much as, like, he said he thinks the side missions are all kind of the samey. He doesn't like going around fighting the bounty bosses and stuff like that. He was just like, it's all a bit. He said it's a bit Monster Hunterish that like he didn't really want from a Final Fantasy game.
Do you think they left their true fans behind, trying to change the game too much?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They did that with 13.
And this is a mistake this time as well?
No, I actually think this is them in a lot of ways righting the ship and finding a game that'll will suit people. They 13 and 15 tried to turn their old combat style into an action combat style, and they kind of lost the goodness of both.
Yeah.
This one, where they're like starting from the ground up and making an action game and knowing that that's what they're doing, I think that's a much better idea. It's still not what I would have liked. Like, obviously I want an old school turn-based RPG, but for the game that it is, it's really fun to play.
It's a really fun game.
Combat.
Would they get most of their sales not in Japan? Would a lot of their Japanese sales be bigger than Europe?
There's not that many people in Japan.
Or China or whatever. That kind of... No?
China, consoles are only like legal in China like a year and a half.
All right, no, I just thought it'd be more popular over that way.
I did have a very. There's one point in Final Fantasy 16 where, you know, the whole world's racist.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. Do you know, you go to that particularly racist town? There's one town that's like especially racist in this world of racist. When I went there, the first thing that happened to me is I made a racist child cry. Right. You kill their.
Is this the wolf?
Yeah, you kill their pet, and they're like, I'll get my dad after you," and you're like, "Yeah, you get your dad."
Oh yeah, no, I did do this mission. Yes,
yeah. Best side quest in the game.
Yeah, and then immediately, I'm not sure if it was pure coincidence because I was, side questing, but I immediately encountered another racist child who I also made cry.
Well, you're making them all cry. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Making racist children cry. It's great fun.
That wolf quest is probably my favorite quest, like side quest in the game. I thought it made me viscerally angry.
Yeah, I got very angry, and then the way it resolves is very funny. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, go and die.
Yeah.
So what's better, the gate, Baldur's Gate or Final Fantasy 16?
I think I know which one I'm going to be playing multiple times, and it's not Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, sounds like Baldur's Gate out the Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
but like Final Fantasy 16 is more like Asura's Wrath. Like
Asura's Wrath, like the best comparison.
Yeah,
the Bahamut fight's very much like, oh yeah,
yeah. So like, I mean, it's despite the fact that they're both RPGs, they're not very comparable.
No,
not at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of it because it was brought up in that article. They were saying because the turn-based is absolute why success of Baldur's Gate 3. It's only out a week or something.
It's one of those weird things that Square has it in their head that they'll never make money with a turn-based game.
But another thing as well, sorry. All I was saying was that it's two very, you can't really compare them because one is like very action. It's just straight away you fight the people, you collect the loot, you get out of there, blah blah blah. Baldur's Gate seems to be just like everything else. Storyline, you do what you want. It's branching. There's like, oh, I'm going to use this ability to do this weird thing over here to gain myself an advantage in the fight. It's all about using the surroundings to your advantage and like using your brain and doing stuff like that. Whereas to be fair, and again, people might like this, Final Fantasy 16 is square, triangle, square, triangle, square, triangle, R1, L2. Okay, I'm going to do my super. Okay, boom. It's literally like, it's more like something akin to Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I also thought Ninja Gaiden off it. That's because of the downward attack feels really Ninja Gaiden.
It's interesting. I think we'll be seeing Baldur's Gate stick around longer. It sounds like anyway to me.
I think we're at a moment with gaming a bit like. Do you remember before? Everyone knows I like comics and comic book films. Do you remember just before the MCU started, and there was like loads of comic book films, and they were all like, it was clear there was executives making decisions who had never talked to someone who had ever seen a film. Do you remember that period? Like,
yeah, the Catwoman did.
Yeah. And you just make an Iron Man film where he's just Iron Man doing Iron Man things. Please, just stop changing everything because and Final Fantasy 16 feels a little like that, but like they don't trust the old way RPGs used to be. Well, I have a terrible feeling that your average executive is going to look at Baldur's Gate and just pick completely the wrong thing about it that people like.
Yeah, they're like sex scenes. They're like they're fine.
But it's kind of the way I always say that about Hollywood as well. They just stick by a script, whatever works, and just keep rinse and repeat.
The formula.
Yeah, the
formula is the ultimate example of taking the wrong thing that people like from stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on with loads of things. Our next piece of news, we have a rumor. There's plenty of rumors. There's rumors all the time. I swear to God, there's more rumors this week than anything. No, the wipe is. There's definitely a rumor for wipe as well. But
tomorrow,
they're going with it more. Well, if we get a tweet tonight, I'd say not a tweet, an X. I don't know what's called anymore. An X. If we get an X tonight, it sounds like I'm going out tonight and having a good time around a disco.
Look, there's a local pub in Falcara that changed its name 11 years ago, and I still call it the Anchor. I'm not changing. I'm still going to call it Twitter.
Yeah, it depends what you think it was when you were younger, isn't it? If people don't remember it. Like Extravision, what's that called anymore?
Really?
Anyway, Mafia 4 has started development and will use Unreal Engine 5. And the reason people think this is because there's people looking for people to work on it. Back in May, reports online claimed that Mafia 4 had finally entered development. According to the sources, the game is set to be prequel, and then later in August, 2K Games themselves confirmed that work has started on an all-new Mafia project. We all know the game would be used Unreal Engine 5 as spotted as a Reddit user. Eelboy1, a Hangar 13 job listing appears to show that the work is well underway on the upcoming Mafia installment. Have any of you played a Mafia game?
All of them?
No.
Yeah, I played Mafia. I've actually played Mafia 3, which is the one people don't really like. I thought it was fine. I can understand the criticisms where it's like, yeah, it's a little bit generic. It's a little bit like sneak around, go behind the guy. You know yourself, that freaking game does every
feel
game.
bad.
Go behind, go dunk, knock him out, and then you get into a firefight eventually. It was good. The storyline was kind of cool, like at the start, where it was like going between two time periods and like talking about like the Ku Klux Klan and stuff like that. And I was into it for a bit, and then I don't think I finished it, but it was fine. It was serviceable, but it wasn't that great. I won't lie.
It's my least favorite video game that involves the Ra.
The Ra was it? Was it?
Yeah.
Well, the Irish gangsters in America, was it?
Yep. They're over trying to get guns or whatever.
Yeah. Give us some guns.
First Mafia is like, I still think a classic game.
Yeah.
It was like revolutionary when it came out. It was so cool.
Mad for gangster stuff, but I have never played these games. And
I think the first Mafia was only a PC game as far as I remember.
All right. It's going to be on like the first game Engine 5, so it looked fucking good anyway.
It looked beautiful. And it was the first game I remember ever having to like follow the rules of the road.
Follow the rules of the road.
Yeah, you had to drive on the right side of the road.
Didn't the Getaway have that as well?
Yeah, but the first Mafia was before the Getaway.
Well, I never played Mafia, so that's fair.
It must be really old.
Yeah, first Mafia is an old game.
Very old game.
Yeah.
Did any of you try that Matrix demo with the Unreal 5
on
the PlayStation 5?
Never actually played it. I watched someone play it, but I never played it.
Unbelievable. I think they were using Unreal Engine as well on a new film, weren't they?
They're using it in most new films.
Yeah, it's used a lot. Yeah.
They're doing some good jobs with that. People saying, do you ever try and build on it? You do stuff on it, don't you, John? Or you have done stuff? No?
I have done stuff on in college, but not really using Unreal. We kind of used Unity in college. Yeah. And Unity is good as well. Don't get me wrong. Tarkov's built on Unity. Let's bring up Tarkov again.
Maybe need to change it then. Maybe need to change it then.
No, Unity gets a bad rap because it's really easy to use and it's the prime thing used by asset flipping bastards who literally just don't even get a load of assets off Pirate Bay, throw it into a game, download a few scripts that have written themselves, the worst game ever, and flog it off for €20. And if you don't pay for Unity, it starts with powered by Unity before the game starts. So because these cheap arseholes don't actually pay for Unity, any bad asset flipper game starts with powered by Unity, which gave it a terrible name. But it's actually good. I think it's pretty good.
And then they threatened to sue game journalists.
Yeah. Which doesn't go well if you're Jim Sterling.
No, it didn't. It did not. That's one of the funniest.
Well.
That video, and that is one of the funniest things. God, they were losers.
Good times.
It sounds like a way we can make money, Joe. Go make it.
No. I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of that now, Paddy.
But I think a lot of people might use Unreal this generation. They changed their licensing agreement, and it's now a case of it's free until you make $1 million.
Jesus.
And then you pay 15%.
That's epic.
That's a really good idea for them,
isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like a Microsoft thing, ubiquity. If everyone is using it, then everyone has to use it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows how to use it. Yeah,
I think
really
it's free until you make $1 million, and it's 15% you pay off your earnings.
That's something. That's a good plan. Are you looking forward to this? Would you get this game when it comes out? Mafia 4.
I've played the first 3. If I hear it's more like 2, I'll probably play it because I really like Mafia 2.
It depends between the hype between now and then as well. You know, like if it's one of them games everyone gets hyped up for, everyone's like, okay, I'll play it. It happens like
it's
that.
Also
marketing
right
maybe.
Right now is a pretty scary time to be developing a open world gangster game, knowing what's coming on the horizon.
Yeah, but when though? That's the thing.
Yeah, but like it's still everybody knows it's there. It's like this big shadow over the gaming industry.
The elephant in the room.
GTA 6 does exist somewhere.
That was another rumor this week because it's the same thing again. People putting out their projected earnings, and Take-Two is saying that they're going to earn so much in 2023, 24, because and everyone's going because they're going to release that game. But I suppose it's a good way to look at it. Like if they don't have that much coming up, and you're thinking of that, and they're projecting massive money. Go on.
I heard there was a rumor for a trailer drop in October. I've heard that somewhere. Now, don't quote me on that, but I heard that somewhere.
It makes sense. I suppose around that time to do it. It has to. We have to get something soon. Everyone's like, it's on the brink. It's on the brink, and it's gonna be one of the best games ever made.
Hopefully.
But there's so much content.
The company's going to worrying me.
Why?
Well, do you want to move on to one of our news store, or other game store, or other news stories?
Leave that one to last, but let me see. We'll bring Brian in for the Evo 2023. Tell me, Brian. There's loads of games, loads of different things dropped. What are you most focused on over the weekend?
Well, Jason, the first interesting thing about Evo really is that this is one of the first ones that like Sony bought Evo. So up until now, Evo has been like basically the biggest kind of independent esports event in the world, really.
Yeah,
you know, because it's kind of the global world finals of fighting game, but it's an official. Sony bought it, so there's a lot more like official announcements and stuff at this one. I didn't think there was actually this year was a bit quiet in announcements. I think because Street Fighter is already out, and we already know Tekken is on its way, and we already know Mortal Kombat's on its way.
I think they just kind of released characters and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah. So they showed AKI for Street Fighter, who's I think Feng's replacement. She's like a poison character, which are really annoying in fighting games. You know, they poison you and then they run away, and if you don't hit them, you continue to lose health. Like Reptile in Mortal Kombat, that was super popular when I saw that.
Another poison character.
Yeah, another poison character. Johnny for Guilty Gear. And Leffen won Guilty Gear this year. And I don't know if you know who. Do any of you know who Leffen is?
I do.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So Leffen is a Smash player who has a terrible reputation, and he won Guilty Gear without dropping a fight. Like he didn't lose a fight.
Jesus. I saw the meme. I saw the meme of when he won. I think it was Guilty Gear, and it panned to the crowd, and the crowd looked disgusted. there was a whole row of people not clapping, and they're just like.
To me, the jury's kind of out on whether he's actually that big, and it's like a lot of people who play fighting games are wrestling fans, and some of them are very happy to play a heel. Really happy to play a heel, you know. So
I've watched the documentary on Leffen, and it feels like an act.
Yeah, he's so over the top sometimes. He basically said his job is, what was it? My job is harder than working at McDonald's. He says as he's streaming Smash, like, you know.
Sometimes you have to do that online. You have to play that heel. You have to make that make that bank.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize that and take it too seriously. Until you
but
see it in public, bang.
I guess the biggest thing from Evo is a lot of the original organizers from Evo are now working at Riot, working on Project L, which is their new fighting game, and they had a playtest for it, and it went down really, really well apparently. So I think I said it last.
Super.
Yeah, I think I said it the last time I was on. Like the existence of Project L in the background is driving all of the other fighting game producers to put out like their A games. So like Street Fighter 6, amazing, sold brilliant. They're putting so many resources into the World Tour. They know they're going to get wiped out by Project L unless they do this. Like Tekken 8 looks amazing as well. There's a lot of footage of it shown, and it looks brilliant.
That competition makes the industry thrive.
Yeah. This is the hope. Like I hope that Project L isn't just like a wave of money that wipes out everything else. You know, I want them all competitive and fighting. But yeah, I think that's it really. They announced a new rebalance for Guilty Gear as well with the new season of characters. The GG fans are happy about that. And a whole bunch of PlayStation 5s overheated and burned up USB hubs.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
But
you wanted to
talk
okay.
There was that with Final Fantasy 16, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Remember we heard that in Final Fantasy 16 as well, that during one of the boss fights that it was overheating.
Yeah.
I hope this is not a trend.
Yeah. It's
this isn't the console. This isn't as much the console. This is the USB ports literally destroying people's controllers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's become a thing now that you use hubs, so you can't mount the actual controllers. Use a hub. Well, I mean, the PS5. I'm looking at my PS5 now. Like this device is not made there was no thought put in for outside of the home play with that device. Like the PS4, you could just stack. You could get 10 of them like this and carry them into a room. Like you can barely bring 2 of them.
But you could do that with the original NES as well.
Yeah.
But it's all about design, isn't it?
well, is it? Because like it's overheating. So
yeah, but it's
true.
I think, to be honest, I'm starting to think my own PlayStation 5 there. I was thinking I'm going to have to open it up and clean it out soon. And I've only had that like a year or something. But is it a year? How long is it? Like 2 years now?
2 years.
Yeah, I've had it about 2 years then. But I suppose it is time. But it does make you wonder when you're starting to hear rumours of it already. Like, we hope it's not like, you get the first batch. And they're all the ones that break. You have to buy the next PS5 Pro. It's like,
well, I have heard that from like the techie kind of heads on Twitter and stuff when that whole overheating stuff was happening with Final Fantasy 16, and they're like, well, it's obviously going to happen if you don't open up and clean out your filters. It's like, shut up. This was basic consumer, okay? I don't know how to do crap, okay?
But that's what the PlayStation sold as. That's what the main, you're just a normal consumer. You're not a techie person. If you're a techie person, you'd be building a PC. Like, do you know what I mean? You wouldn't be. That's what the consoles are for.
But if you're gonna buy an esports event and run it on PlayStation 5s, would you not put 2 USB-A ports on the front of your machine?
Yes. What if you're running it, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, they are. They bought Evo to showcase the PS5
tournament in the world.
Yeah, and there's only one USB-A port in front of their machine, and you can't use wireless at these events. So what do you do?
True.
Turn it backwards because it has 2 in the back.
Yeah. Do you know what happens when you turn it around
the ones
backwards?
that melt the controller.
It's true. That's true.
You're also exposing the HDMI cable and the cable and the power cable.
Yes.
Right? And it might only be 1 in 1,000 times, but someone's going to dislodge one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Especially with that many people, everything's going to happen, yeah.
Exactly. So, yes.
Further from the release it goes, it's become really clear that obnoxious Kaiba jacket design was one of the worst ideas they've ever had.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't
go on.
The feedback from my area of the world was instantaneous on that. They're like, that's not going to work. Like straight away.
Like, I'm annoyed by the width of the Series X because it doesn't fit into most TV things, but having a big square box is kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, I had to take one of my fans got completely blocked in my Series X, and I took the whole thing apart and cleaned it out super easily. And I'm like, because it's literally just a computer in a box.
Mm-hmm. But that's what it looks like. It looks like a desktop, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But it's hard to know. These things are not made to last anyway. Let's face it.
I wish it fit into TV stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Like the person that's in there designing the PlayStation, the way it looks, is not the same person that's in the designing the game. The way it works. Do you know what I mean? They're probably 2 different sections of the company. It's like, this looks so good. I probably can. It probably should be. But
you want them to be anyway.
The looks designer and the thermal guy should absolutely be talking to each other.
Yeah.
They should have weekly meetings.
Controllers, yeah, just normal controllers. They weren't plugging in like what you usually use. Like
some people use arcade sticks, some people use hitboxes, some people use normal controllers, like the whole range. Some people even use like old Saturn pads they're called Brook adapters. It's a company called Brook that does.
I have one of them Saturn pads.
Yeah, they're really good for a lot of games, like Saturn pads. Yeah.
I have one there, and the one in the press is there. I suppose that's what you're saying around the PlayStation, that they're thinking that you're not going to be plugging them in, that you're recharging them and taking them away from the PlayStation. Yeah. That's probably what it is like.
Yeah, but why buy a massive esports event to show off?
True. I get you.
Brian, what's your opinion on Daigo's new hitbox?
It's legal.
You have to explain for us that we don't know. Okay.
So a hitbox is a controller where it's like an arcade stick, but instead of having the actual stick, the lever, you've got buttons. So it's like basically Sanwa buttons, but WASD layout plus all your extra buttons. So there's been a lot of controversy over the last few years about how these work, because some of them you used to be able to hold back and forward at the same time, which, if you can imagine, in Street Fighter, you can be charging a sonic boom and walking forwards, which breaks the balance of the game, stuff like that. So they kind of there was rules about patching that out. But what Daigo is probably the preeminent fighting game player in the whole world.
He's definitely the one I know the name of most.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's the guy from Evo Moment 37. You know, that really famous, probably the first esports clip ever to go viral, where Ken parries 37 hits of, not 37,
parries every hit.
Of Chun-Li super. Like, that's him. That's Daigo. He's still playing. He's a very nice guy.
It's unreal. I've seen that clip. I've seen that clip so many times. It's fantastic. And when you've played Third Strike and you realize that every single one is a freaking parry, it just makes it unbelievable. It's so good.
Do you know what the coolest thing about it is? The first input has to be done before the screen flash, right? So he predicted that Justin Wong was going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anyway, that's a tangent.
Yeah.
So the hitbox is his new controller. So basically, it's got extra buttons. So I think one of them is like, so there's a thing called Drive Rush that you can just hit a button and Drive Rush comes out. That's usually a double tap, 2 buttons at the same time, but they're difficult to get to because you've only got 4 fingers and you've got to float over about 8 different functions with your right hand. So he's deliberately like looked at the Capcom Pro Tour rules, and they say these are how many buttons that you can have, and you're not allowed bind macros that aren't in the game, but you are allowed bind macros that are in the game. So everything he's done is legal because he's only used those macros. Now, I mean, it's gonna give him an advantage, but no one else is banned from doing it, so
they can do it too if they want.
They can do it too, yeah. Like
some of the most competitive people in the world always look for an edge. Always. The real competitive people, like, they always look for that edge. Like, it doesn't matter what sport it is, they don't care. They'll push the rules to the very max.
Have any of you ever looked up pro what do they call it, modified GameCube controllers for Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
No.
I've encountered
prices of them.
Yeah.
I've met the people who use them.
They're like 500 quid.
Yeah.
Jesus. Smash Brother has its own culture.
It's a specific type of GameCube controller that has like a specific part in it, and then they mess with stuff and they grease up the triggers and they put notches into all the control sticks. Like, just the amount of effort they put into making these perfect Smash controllers.
Well, Smash is actually a super high execution game. People don't realize it because it's Smash, but it is legitimately super high execution at a high level. Like, but it does. Sometimes you're talking to them and you're like, "Are you for real? You won't use that controller?" I come from the arcade generation. Like, I used to literally play on arcade machines. Yeah. So I often just walk into an event. If there's anything wrong with my stick or I don't have it, I just say to one of my mates, "Here, can I play my matches on your stick?" And they go, "Yeah." And because the Sanwa, the title layout is standardized, the buttons are always at the same angle and the stick is always the same distance.
Yeah.
And they're all Sanwa buttons and Sanwa sticks with the same 4-way gate. Like, so, the experience is virtually identical. So it was really weird to encounter Smash players who were like, "So it's the same stick. They're just different types of broken on the inside."
They're broken. That's what it is. It's a specific type of broken stick.
Yeah, a specific type of broken one, and you're not going to play in this tournament unless you have your broken stick. Okay. And to be fair to them, it might be the difference between the winning or losing. It's different culture, different equipment, but it just seems very strange when you're not part of it.
I can pat.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely strange.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the blind player.
What's his name again?
I forget his name. I just saw there's a blind guy that was did really well.
He always does really well.
Very heartwarming.
Yeah, it's actually not new. Yeah.
What game does he play?
Really?
Yeah. He plays. I think he's played both Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Street Fighter this year.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
Carlos Vasquez, is it? Rattlehead.
No, it's a different name.
He doesn't just play Mortal Kombat. He's a pro. Maybe it's a different.
Might be a different guy. Like, his name is Blind something or something. Like,
I don't know. I have to look. Yeah. A couple of blind people.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, to see a guy win with he literally wears a bandana over his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! I think I seen that as well. I can't believe that. No, it's not Mortal. It came up Mortal Kombat, not Mortal Kombat. Try Street Fighter.
Yeah, I think he played SF6 this year, but I think he used to play Mortal Kombat. But he pops up every year, like, because he's gotten like 8 fights deep into the bracket at Evo or something ridiculous like that.
That is the most heartwarming story.
So how does that work? Just for someone who, like, I obviously watch Evo, what kind of inputs is he reacting to?
I don't actually understand it.
Sven, blind warrior.
Sven, that's a blind Sven. Yeah,
blind Sven.
Yeah. I don't understand it. But
I think they've added stuff to the game as well, as far as I remember.
They have. In this year, they've added audio cues.
Audio cues is working off.
Yeah. He always worked off audio cues, but when I stop and think about it, in Street Fighter 4, say, there's a ton of audio cues. Most characters make a sound when they're walking forward. They might make it slightly different when they're walking back.
He's essentially Daredevil.
Yeah, he's doing the Daredevil. Yeah, like every button has a different sound depending on its strength. Like if you hit a light, it makes like a whoosh sound, and the character tends to shout when you hit a heavy button, if you know what I mean. Like they actually vocalize. Like, so I'd say it's something to do with that. Like, and if he hears a fireball and he reckons he knows the distance, he knows whether he can throw a fireball or to block or to neutral jump, which is vertical jump. And jumping makes a sense. Yeah, you start to think now, like if I was blind, how would I do it? So I guess it's something like that. But
it's crazy to think that, like, there's a guy who's out there who I wouldn't be able to touch at that video game, and he can't see.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah. They should just have a blind tournament and see who wins.
Have you ever heard of Broly Legs?
No.
So Broly Legs is a guy who was born without working legs and one working hand, and he is an extremely good Chun-Li player, and he uses the stick in his mouth.
I've seen him actually. Yeah.
He's incredible and a very funny man on Twitter. Extremely funny. Like there's a famous clip where there was 2 guys playing Street Fighter, and one guy goes for his ultra, thinks it lands, stands up and starts celebrating, but it actually misses. The other guy's sitting there just killing him. He doesn't even realize it. He ends up losing the fight. Broly Legs responds, well, at least I never have to worry about this happening to me.
Fair play to them that they can do all that.
Yeah. And there's lots of new accessibility stuff coming out for consoles at the moment, so it's great. Like, it's really good.
I say some people use it to their advantage too, and like on Fortnite and stuff, they have that where it shows you what audio. It shows you if you can't hear it, it shows you what direction they're coming and everything, and people start using it then for their advantage. We probably go on to the last bit and use Red Dead Redemption Remaster. No, wait. No, it's not a remaster.
No, it's not a remaster.
It's a port. It's a port. That's it. On PS4 and the Switch. And you can play it on the PS5 because it's backwards compatible. This is after getting the fans up in arms because it is $50 bloody dollars as well. Yeah, which is, I probably translate to, it'd probably still be €50. And that's the way it usually works.
It'll be €50, yeah, always.
Yeah, and Undead Nightmare DLC is going to be a part of it as well. It's a good game. I remember well. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it. But like, I don't think I'd pay €50 just to play the exact game again when you can play it on so many different things at the minute already. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do with this.
Madness.
But they reckon that's the price of games these days. That's what it should be.
If you put this out for 30 on PS4 and 40 on Switch, I think it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
but like these things do get sales really quickly too.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of disappointment came though.
Not Rockstar games.
Do you not think? I think everything bloody goes on sale. Go on.
Those GTA remasters didn't go on sale for ages, and they're terrible.
I never played them.
Yeah.
Go on, John.
They're real bad remasters.
No, I was
amazing games, not good remasters.
I was essentially saying just that they're freaking. A lot of people were disappointed because once they heard that it got the trademark and they changed the logo for Red Dead Redemption, everybody was expecting a remaster, and it kind of makes sense now why Rockstar were kind of quiet about it, where it came from. It basically came from a leak that the logo had changed, something like that. It's like, oh, they've changed the logo on the website. That means they're going to do something with Red Dead Redemption. And they're like, oh, perfect. So everybody thought it was going to be like a proper ground up remaster, and that maybe in August we'd get like an announcement or like a trailer or something. But that wasn't the case.
Maybe they just don't have time to make it. as well.
Yeah.
Remaster. You know what I
And
mean?
don't lazily chip out the old same game without multiplayer and then charge 50 quid for it.
Well,
This is why I'm worried. This is why I'm worried. This is why I'm worried about Rockstar. Rockstar used to be a company that really valued their prestige idea. Like they make like exceptional games. And the fact that they're putting out these lazy, and those GTA remakes were just pretty terrible.
The worst, yeah.
I'm really worried about. It's a company that, and I hope it hasn't lost their way.
I reckon they're going to blow our socks off on GTA 6. I think that's why it's all taken so long. They're just focused so much on them games, on that game. And
Plus,
their cash cow, GTA 5.
The remasters as well, like they did, for worse, they did ship that out to a different company to make them as well. Was it some mobile company to remaster them? Like I still have faith, because like the last game Rockstar properly made was Red Dead Redemption 2, which was, in my opinion, a freaking masterpiece. And if they can take that same kind of detail that they put into that game and put it into the Grand Theft Auto setting, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, but we can all do, like, this is disappointing. To be fair, I put up a video about it, and then like I really looked into it after. I was like, oh, should have said something really different there, because it's not as good as it looks.
You're like, ooh, yeah,
Red
Dead Redemption coming.
Yeah, straight on it. Start saying, oh, it's coming out, this is happening, and then you look into it, it's like, oh no, it's not that good. Everybody is really annoyed. I think they'll have to drop the price. Will people still buy it? Probably.
Possibly. The Switch, maybe. The Switch is their best bet, because
the Switch version will probably sell.
Yeah.
It might be an experiment for them. They might be deliberately like let's see how high people will go.
What we can get away with.
Yeah, I mean, if they haven't done that much work in making it, if their costs are that low,
yeah,
they can't not
it's just
recoup
money.
it.
It's just money.
Yeah,
you know.
it's just more money. Like, so if they can't make a loss on it, maybe that's what they're doing.
We haven't released that in a little bit. Here's just an old game.
Yeah, there you go.
And the most insulting part of the whole thing is it's not coming to PC. I can't even pirate
it. 6 months down the line, you'll get it. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say Rockstar's a bad company. I think they're class. I think they do so much good work.
No, I didn't say bad. I said worrying.
Yeah. No, I understand. So you won't buy it. No one's going to buy it then, I guess.
Nah,
not for 50. If I can get it for like 20 quid, maybe. Because I really like Red Dead Redemption.
No, it's a fantastic game.
I don't want to have to pull out my Xbox 360.
I paid 40 quid for Sonic Origins the other week, and I'm not going to pay 50 quid for that.
Is it Red Dead Redemption is it Deadeye? Is that Red Dead Redemption, or was that something else?
Yeah.
It is Red Dead Redemption. Was
Deadeye,
yeah, that was good. I was looking forward to that in the second one, but it didn't really come up. The Deadeye and the dueling and stuff like that. Like that was a big part of it too, wasn't it? The Red Dead 1.
Have any of you played Red Dead Revolver?
Is that Red Dead Revolver? I think I'm thinking of Red Dead Revolver, actually.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Red Dead Revolver.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Isn't there some
Redemption
weird
has
thing
the
with
Deadeye?
Oh yeah.
Isn't there something weird with Capcom and Red Dead Revolver? Like,
I don't know.
Capcom had the rights to distribute it or something, the Red Dead games, and they gave it up or something. They could have just made it just a unending amount of money. Because I think the initial pitch for Red Dead Revolver was made by Capcom or something. And there was a trade.
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah. There was something. I must look it up. I must find that out. But I'm pretty sure
Angel Studios began working on Red Dead Revolver under the oversight and funding of Japanese video game publisher Capcom in 2000.
Red Dead Revolver.
And
yeah.
And then Rockstar
and there was
Games bought it then in 2004, is it?
Something like that. There was some deal over distribution rights for various different games between Rockstar and Capcom.
Yeah, Rockstar bought Angel Studios.
No, because it comes up here straight away on the Wikipedia that Red Revolver is a 2004 action-packed adventure game developed by Rockstar San Diego, publishers Rockstar Games. Want to be a rock star?
Yeah, but there was something like that. As part of that process, Capcom had the rights to distribution for some Rockstar games, and they gave them up.
Wow,
which was just a stupidest thing they've ever done.
Yeah.
Yep.
True. You wonder though, it's just with these lads, they're not just going to make their own. It doesn't matter. Like, could they just go and make their own game? You know what I mean? If they would just go and make a Western game.
Have they?
Especially back then.
Yeah, sure.
No, but you could.
The
I'm
need
saying-
to
I'm not
start a
saying
game was huge.
The costs.
Yeah, now it's a lot easier. Game development has never been cheaper, but like getting into game development has never been cheaper. Game development has never been more expensive.
Yeah.
But back then, getting into game development was like incredible expense itself.
Yeah. Didn't have the same tools as we have today.
No, it seems like it's a lot easier. It's probably going to get easier and easier well with AI. Let's face it, things are going to be helping a lot.
Yeah.
Move things forward.
We need more visionaries if AI is going to be a thing. I want people that are like making cool games if we're going to be making the same game.
What if you
over
just
and
ask
over
the
again
AI
by
to make you one?
computers.
Make me a
I
cool
saw
game.
I saw a good I saw a good tweet about AI recently. I went along the lines of something like when I thought of AI and humanity, I always thought of why is AI writing the music and being creative while we're all working minimum wage jobs? Like, I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought we could be creative and the AI would do the media labor.
Very good point.
Yeah. But I was reading thing today and I was just thinking, there isn't an AI in the world that could match Hideo Kojima.
Until they
Like,
download them.
I want more people that make weird things that an AI couldn't think of. I was thinking of Death Stranding today and I was like, that's like the weirdest game. Like, that could only happen if one guy was in charge and got to make every decision himself.
Yeah. The problem with that kind of goes back to the start of the show where Brian was talking about a lot of people have their hands tied. And it's just like, make this game, copy, paste, make this film, copy, paste, make this song, copy, paste. That's the truth. That's where a lot of artistic nature goes to one side. No, this is a bit weird. I think we'll just go with this. And it could have been the best game, film, insert form here. And it's the truth. Like, but it does take someone with a lot of money and to be a visionary these days. Like, it takes to be allowed to be in charge.
Thank God, friendly developers.
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
So what?
WrestleQuest was delayed for 2 weeks. That's a
WrestleQuest.
new story I forgot to share. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's interested in WrestleQuest. WrestleQuest is like my most hyped game.
It's an RPG that's based on wrestling. Is that game?
Yeah, it's a SNES era RPG based on wrestling, and Dave Meltzer's in it. But the night as a playable character, I think.
Brilliant. So,
the night before the game came out, the developers found a horrible bug that will just wipe saves, and they had to delay the game by 10 days. And it's the first time I've seen people be like, they're like, well, I should be mad, but it'd be worse if they just released it with the bug. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, it's better this way. 100%.
True.
It looks real cool though.
Is that on PC or also
on everything?
Oh, it's on everything.
Yeah, I think it's.
If anybody has a Netflix account, you can get it for free on mobile when it comes out.
I keep forgetting that a Netflix account gets you games.
Yeah. If anyone has an iPad, Into the Breach is on Netflix, and Into the Breach is maybe the best iPad game ever made.
I don't have an iPad. I have a phone.
Or
a tablet. I'm not a wide fan of games on phones, but
the best wrestling game I ever played, I think, was SmackDown 2. I love that game. On PlayStation 1, did you ever play it?
I played all the SmackDown games in that era.
SmackDown 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's the game I remember playing the most multiplayer of.
I loved it. But even the storyline itself was brilliant because you used to go around and you used to unlock matches and you used to have all the same matches that were going on at the time in the WWE universe were going on in the game, and it just felt so good. Like the TLC matches, the Hell in a Cell matches, all that was happening. You had seen the Dudley Boys coming out of nowhere. Like it was just brilliant. It's one of them things that you miss about that kind of games is progression and unlocking things. Like like that, just straight storyline and unlocking as you go along. I love that. It was brilliant. The Warzone was a very good game as well. That was on Nintendo 64. That was a very good game. That was kind of like used to be able to used to have hardcore matches in it, Stone Cold, but it was
Yeah.
it was very good. Them old wrestling games
when I got a lot of joy out of was No Way Out on the N64. We played that for years.
Yep.
That was a great game.
They're N64.
The other one just
brilliant console.
before.
No Way Out.
Oh, just before No Mercy, or after?
Could have been. I have no idea. I didn't play No Mercy. We played No Way Out. We had it for years because we had the N64 for years. Played with my cousins. It was great crack.
The Equations. That's what it was all about back
The
then. Multiplayer. Same as GoldenEye and all that was brilliant.
Yeah.
SmackDown 2 and NHL.
Yeah. All the football games back then were good too.
Yeah, Madden. I even played, or even the American football ones. I played a lot of Madden back then. I wouldn't touch Madden now, but back in the day, we used to play Madden the whole time. Hail Mary every time. Hail Mary down the pitch.
Right.
I can remember that's Power Soccer.
Power Soccer. Oh. Was that arcade
game?
That's
Power Soccer. What?
Was it an arcade game as well?
It was a PS1 game.
All right. It was something like that. I think there was a Pro Soccer. Maybe it was Pro Soccer actually on the arcade.
Sensible Soccer.
Revolution Soccer.
Sensible Soccer. Red Card. That was another one.
Yeah, the Red Card.
Well,
I remember.
I love your
Power Soccer.
These are all like, I don't know who talks. I don't know what to do. Everyone's internet is fucked. Come on.
Yeah. No, that's it.
Adidas Power Soccer was the first football game I ever got into because I found out that you could set the referee intelligence in the menu and you could just walk into the box and fall over and he give you a penalty. And I used that to cheat out the whole game.
That's another. Do you know what would be cool? Moment with the developers.
Yeah.
I love it.
Referee intelligence.
Yeah.
Are you saying something, John?
No. I was just saying. I was just saying that. Like, yeah, I agree with you with the internet. I'm like 5 years behind.
Yeah, no, I think Aiden's kind of the same. They're both looking to say stuff sometimes.
They left the poll in the garden for the Fiverr to be put up next week.
Nice. Oh. It's like a countdown now. He won't even be on if he does downloading every game in the world. I couldn't do this last week. Now I must have them all. If I only had more SSD power or space.
The fact on the day of a Destiny expansion or season, I'll be able to play the game within like an hour of it coming out will be amazing.
Yeah, it is a big difference to things. Oh, there's a big difference. I hate that when you're trying to sit and wait for a game and it's like 80 gigs. Oh yeah, I'll play that next year. When the next one comes out, try to download
Baldur's Gate 3, no joke. I had worked with it. Mine took me like 2.5 days to download.
Jesus.
Oh, big.
Is that even worth the power consumption?
I might.
How much did you pay in power consumption along with that game? The game cost you 20 quid extra.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I'm really bad for my computer's on anyway.
Very good. Your computer's on all the mine's on most of the time as well.
Same.
Leave it on a Twitch stream or sometimes. I'm like, I do the community proud. You can have my ads, even though it's the same thing, I suppose. I suppose we can leave the show there. It's been a nice little hour. They're all the same hours. I suppose where can we find you, as Ronan would say, Brian, on Twitter, I suppose.
Yep, Brian Von Doom on Twitter. They're talking about
any
fighting
streams
games,
coming
comics.
up, Brian?
No, I've kind of that's news. I don't know if people know that Celtic Throwdown is no more, so I'm not really
we talked
streaming
about it
anymore. Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
I seen the Shadow Live a few weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. The Smash lads were running an event and we said we'd help them out, so I just ran a one-off stream. That's not me returning to the world of event streaming or anything.
You never know. You never know.
Well, you never know. Like someone wants me to or needs me to, I'll help out. Like,
I'm not bothered to you.
But yeah, just Brian Von Doom with Twitter in the moment.
No better. Too old for gaming. TOOLD for gaming.
TOOLD for gaming. That's me. And you can find me on everywhere. Just type it in. OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
You'll find me everywhere, lads. Type it in.
He's in with that. Did you see that Island Boy Oh my god. You just reminded me.
Island Boys. I know what I reminded you of. But no, we're not going to go there.
Incest. The two boys incest. Oh Jesus Christ! And they were doing a lot more than kissing.
Island Boys.
Just give out
I
me.
know.
You doing inappropriate stuff on the podcast.
Yeah, but I didn't do it. They did it. Isn't he talking?
He didn't do
I
it.
didn't say any swear words. They're the clinical terms for it. I could have said a lot worse. A lot worse.
The Island Boys are doing things if you were stranded alone with someone on an island.
Well, maybe you would, John, but that's your brother. Like, I don't know.
I don't have a brother, so he's all in my brain.
You don't know what it feels that you don't do that with your brother, John. You don't do that with your brother.
I never will, and I never will.
I'm sorry.
I never
John.
will.
I'm sorry. You had to bring it up. What about you, Aidan? Twitter as well.
You follow me on x.com.
X.com. So
AODHAIN 616.
I'm always going to call it
anyone...
Twitter. I'm always going to call it Twitter.
Yeah,
let's face it. I can't believe he took the name away. What an idiot. It has to be said. Like, that's a stupid decision.
I'll be heading to Wembley at the end of the
that-
month to see All In, and I'll be tweeting all about it if anyone wants to see pictures.
Well,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Why not?
Yeah.
For me, you can find me anywhere you find the Republican Players. Follow us on. We're doing a lot of stuff on our shorts on YouTube and doing TikTok, and I'm streaming again on Twitch every now and again. Probably playing Tarkov. Tarkov is wiping. I'd probably try and get up some stuff about that. Maybe. Allegedly, but I'll probably do it on a different channel. I don't think the Republic Players likes Tarkov too much, but that's just us. Right? They like news. This is a news channel, so we're going to stick to the news. Follow Ronan on the Alpha Fox. If you get a chance to watch his content, do. He's trying to hit partner. I think he's close enough to it. So please do. I think he's back next week. He says every week he'll be back. I promise. And we'll chat to you then. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week.